Welcome to another edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up. During this program, we will highlight the agenda items presented to the Lakeville City Council at their August 7th, 2017 meeting. First highlighted item on the agenda is item number 5B, Lakeville Lions donation. And to provide the background information on this agenda item is Parks and Recreation Director John Hennon.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Excuse me. In 2015, a group of avid bicyclists reached out to the city requesting the city consider constructing a mountain bike trail somewhere within our park system. Shortly thereafter, these bicyclists created an organization called the Lakeville Cycling Association. So staff, along with the Park and Recreation and Natural Resources Committee, worked with the organization identifying some possible locations for the trail. And ultimately, the Mayor and City Council approved the construction of the West Lake Marion Mountain Bike Trail as part of the 2017 budget. As you can see on the overhead, it is just located just south of Casperson Park. North is to your right. And the trailhead is located right off the parking lot of the soccer decks there. So the trail was constructed. The trail was recently opened and will consist of 5 miles of trail once totally completed. So there's a couple segments left we're finishing up on. As part of the project, the Lakeville Cycling Association agreed to obtain donations to help offset the cost of the construction, and they agreed to construct a small portion of the trail as well. So some significant donations to date came from Lakeville Rotary, Apple Auto, Platt Dentistry and Platt Contracting Services, Post Consumer Brands, Silver Cycling, and Tradition Companies. Tonight we have with us a very significant donation from the Lakeville Lions, and they are donating $10,000 towards the project. So President Brenda Harold and Lion Christian Donovan are here tonight to present the check to us, and Steve Knowlton, who's the president of the Lakeville Cycling Association. So I'll ask them to come up and make the presentation.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Oh, it says 10.
Thanks, Jen.
Welcome.
Thank you. So for the past 64 years, the Lakeville Lions have been proudly serving the Lakeville community, and we are thrilled to now have the Lions Trail as part of the West Lake Marion Mountain Bike Trail. We're very proud to support this effort that provides the opportunity for fun and exercise and in such a beautiful setting. So we just wanted to say congratulations to everyone who helped to make this great idea a reality. It takes a lot of effort and persistence. So on behalf of the Lakeville Lions, we want the donation of $10,000, the check to Steve Knowlton representing the organization. So congratulations.
Next highlighted item on the agenda is item number 5C, Parks and Recreation Quarterly Report. And once again, to provide the background information on this agenda item is Parks and Recreation Director John Hennon.
As we just talked about, the West Lake Marion Mountain Bike Trail was constructed. Just a couple other photos here. Back in April 22nd, we had about 24 volunteers that went out and cleaned up the area. This was a park property that some folks have dropped some stuff back, into over the years, so they were out there cleaning up the park before we started construction. Then you can see some construction photos along with a boardwalk that was constructed by city staff. Other park projects include the construction of the Pickleball Courts at Dodd Trail Park. These were a couple tennis courts that were converted into 6 designated pickleball courts. They are heavily used since we've opened in July, and we're getting a lot of good feedback on the new pickleball courts. I would like to note special thanks to Bob Swan. He's our Parks Recreation Chairperson, along with the Park and Rec Committee. They were some advocates of the pickleball courts, so we thank them for promoting this project. Also under park maintenance, we worked with the Recreation Department on the puppet wagon updates. We've got a new used puppet wagon, so we converted that. And this year, the sponsors of the puppet wagon include the Lakeville Rotary, the Lakeville Lions, DLBA, and Dakota County Heritage Library. The Lions also donated this bench at the Land of Amazement over the last couple months, so that's been installed. The maintenance department also worked on irrigation repairs at Steve Michaud Park, helped a contractor with replacement of windows at Steve Michaud Park, and worked with Tree Trust on the installation of some bleacher pads at King Park. The maintenance department also had a number of special events that they worked on. One was the annual Household Hazardous Waste event we worked with Dakota County on, the Block Bash, the Taste of Lakeville, and of course, Panaprog preparations. On the recreation end, we had over 1,000 kids sign up for summer recreation programs. Some of the more popular programs included the turf soccer program, tennis, Camp Kermit, and safety camp. We also have a very popular sand volleyball league, one of the most popular ones in the South Metro. Also under recreation, as part of Panaprog, we had the Kai Bai Roo Triathlon, which is for kayak, biking, and running. 54 individuals participated in that, along with the Panaprog Run and the annual Beach Bash. At the Arts Center, we had sold-out performances of Sister Act, Southern Hospitality, and the community band played twice at Antlers Park in June and July. Also at the Arts Center, we had a number of programs such as Adult Pottery, Island Art Adventure, and Concrete Garden Leave program. And then part of Panaprog, we had Picnic and Puppets, along with the art sale exhibit. Heritage Center was busy as well. We had CPR and AED classes, pickleball lessons. We have 58 active adults that are in a pickleball program. And volunteers also went to Feed My Starving Children and volunteered over there. Also at the Heritage Center, we had a craft sale as part of the Panaprog. We had 20 crafters, and the active adults also had a bake sale, raising about $500 for their active adults program. And finally, the Performing Arts Playbill was sent out in today's mail, and the Park and Recreation brochure will be sent out August 19th. Both of those are online, so if you want to sign up, you can do that at this time. And some upcoming events include this Saturday's the Lake Marion Triathlon at Antlers Park. This is a South Metro Storm Swim Club program assisted by the Parks Department, Public Works, and the Police Department. Tuesday the 22nd, Ice Cream Social at the Heritage Center, and then the final concert in the park will be August 21st at Antlers Park. So, be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Next highlighted item on the agenda is item number 7, resolution awarding sale of 2017 general obligation bonds. And to begin a series of presentations, here's Finance Director Geraldine Erickson.
I will certainly come up and talk about the bond issuance. I'm very pleased to say that we had our bond issuance today. It's financing a number of projects. Our 2017 street reconstruction project, the downtown Holyoke improvement project, the Launch Park project, and then we were also refunding the 2007 H street reconstruction bonds. We had a rating call about a week or so ago with Moody's Investor Services, and they affirmed our AA1 rating, which we are very pleased about. And with that, I'll call Dave McGilvery up with Springstead, and he'll give the details of the bond issuance this morning.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Geraldine. Dave McGilvery with Springstead, your financial advisor. You have a resolution, long title, authorizing the issuance, award of sale. It's $10,165,000. Up to today's bidding, the amount was $11,535,000, but as a result of the bidding, we were able to reduce the issue size to $10,165,000. Still fund the same projects. Geraldine went over the uses. We took bids at 10 o'clock. I passed out our famous yellow sheet with the results of the bids. The best bid is listed first, and they go increasing interest cost higher. The winner was a firm with the interesting name Fifth Third Securities. I don't know if that's Fifth and Third, it's in Cincinnati, or where they came up with the name, but they are active in the market, and so we don't see them that much in Minnesota, but Fifth Third Securities was the winner. at a rate of 1.95%. The highest bid, which is on the third page back, second piece of paper, was Bank of America Merrill Lynch, 2.08%. In our recommendations of July 13th, we had stated a rate based on the market at that time of 2.60, so this is way under that. And actually, though the market has been very low, it has fallen a whole bunch more, and so not necessarily this much, but a whole bunch. And therefore, you borrow at a good time. So it's way underneath the estimate. And one of the things that does is enhance the savings. As Geraldine mentioned, we have a refunding of the 2007 HGO street reconstruction bonds. I'll just say when we started, we had an estimated net present value savings after all costs of $152,000. With this bid, that same number is now $219,000, so that's a big, big increase. This is an advance refunding. There's a state law that says you must save at least 3% of the present value of refunded debt service. This saves 11.07%, so way through that state law piece. Just one thing, Geraldine mentioned the rating. I'll just hit some highlights for the record. This is Moody's AA1. They have one section that's called credit strengths and credit challenges. Credit strengths, wealthy and growing tax base near the Twin Cities, very healthy operating fund reserves relative to budget. That's the general fund balance. Challenges, and I'll come back to this, growing pension burden that will likely necessitate rising annual contributions and somewhat elevated debt burden. Then they have one other section, factors that could lead to an upgrade, a reduction in the city's debt, pension, and fixed cost, downgrade, contraction of the tax base, a heavy hit on your general fund reserves, and a significant increase in your debt burden, pension, etc. I just want to come back to pensions and Moody's Investor Service. Over the last couple of years, because somewhat like the rating agencies missing the recession in 2008, they missed a lot of the pension problems throughout the country and local governments. So they've gone inside and tried to and came up with their own methodology. So they do look at each state. You're in para, which is predominant for your employee group, and they do their own analysis and calculation of the pension liability applicable to each participating governmental unit. So at Lakeville, they've done a separate calculation, and then they give their estimate of the unfunded liability, which is going to be different that's in your financial statements because they take more conservative assumptions and therefore the unfunded goes up. So this comment of pension liability and increasing contributions is pretty well universal for all local governments in Minnesota, because at least on Moody's part, because they've gone through this methodology piece. So when you read that, when they talk about long-term fixed costs, there's things more under your direct control, like debt levels and other things like pensions, which Moody's is doing their own little approach to. So I just wanted to explain that when you read that comment. So with that, I think it's an excellent result in terms of rate and credit ratings, and we would recommend award to Fifth Third Securities.
Item number 7 was approved by the Lakeville City Council. Well, those were the highlighted items presented to the council at their August 7th, 2017 meeting. If you have any questions or comments regarding these agenda items, please feel free to call City Hall. The number is 952-985-4400. Thanks for watching this edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up.